It may not be 19 inches, but it's still pretty damn big. This is the Gamerverse Venom. This version of Venom came out in the Spider-Man 2 video game, the one with Peter Parker and Miles Morales. They have one of the promotional artworks here on the back of the two of them fighting him. Now this Venom is a fucking unit. Normally Marvel Legends figures are like, what, like 6 inches? So like maybe this tall, if that. And yeah, this is a big chonker of a boy. Not super loaded with accessories. He does have an extra head with the cunnilingus tongue sticking out. He's got 2 scary claw hands that are already on him. He has 2 fist hands. This looks like a set of teeth, maybe, and then he has like a mass of tendrils right here for sticky symbiote stuff. Now, while this packaging is really cool, there really isn't too much to look at. There's a little blurb here on the back. Venom, powered by an extraterrestrial symbiote, the relentless villain Venom threatens all of New York and pushes Peter Parker and Miles Morales to the very limit. And so yeah, so other than that, there's not really too much to see here. So let's just go ahead and open this guy up. It's a really simple box insert with the Spider-Man logo and all that good stuff. Now, I'm so glad that they don't put like those little plastic tie things in these anymore to hold everything down, because they're such a bitch to undo unless you have like some scissors or something. Okay. Oh, there's a peg in there. So yeah, so this the symbiote hentai tendril, lots of really cool detail on that. Very knurled and very like, it catches light very well just with all the texturing. But there is a little like a little tab in there. It's hard to see where you can. It's a peg where you can like connect it to something. So let's. Oh, maybe it's. Oh, it takes the place of one of his hands. That's fucking cool. Okay. So I'm gonna pull out the cunnilingus head. Wow. Okay. This is another one that's probably gonna stay unboxed because yeah, this plastic does not want to let this thing go. Okay, that feels very strange. Like, it definitely feels like the weight is really weird on this thing. This top half of his chest is totally hollow, but like the fucking legs are so solid. It feels weird when you hold it because you can feel all the weight in the bottom there. So let's get these hands out. My brother, there we go. Yeah, this is all very tough to pull out. Now, what the fuck is this? Is this supposed to be like drool? Now, the tongue is a very solid plastic here. So I really would not recommend pulling it out by the tongue because it's gonna break. It is definitely going to break. Okay, I thought the tongue maybe came loose because you can see that there's like a seam in there where the tongue connects, but nah, no, that's not coming out. Okay, so we have the two big fists Very nice, very nice. Now we have this thing, which I'm pretty sure is drool. Let me see if I can like get this in here. And there we go. Boom goes the dynamite. We have removable Venom drool. That's actually super fucking cool. I really like that. That is sick. Make it, you know, it's always nice when you have the option to make it goopier. I like optional goop. Okay. Okay, so let's look at the boy himself right here. So he's definitely got the rapist smile, which is great. He's, you know, got the big old Venom eyes. So that was me trying to make him look up, and the head just kind of bounced off right there. Now, okay, now I know why this feels so weird. This isn't their normal plastic. This is not the Hasbro plastic. Now, maybe the legs and the arms are, but not this upper chest. Like, yeah, it's like a really rigid, really tough plastic. I'm not sure how I feel about this because it's, like I said, it feels really hollow. Everything else though is like solid. Like I'm feeling the arms, I'm feeling, you know, like the abs here, and that feels great. And okay, yeah, the ab crunch there is gonna need to get hit with the hairdryer because that's giving me a lot of resistance. And you can hear like something clicking in there when you try to bend it. Now, just for the sake of not having headless Venom, I'll pop this guy on there. And so yeah, so looking up, you can't get Venom to look up that well. And then looking down, so looking up is kind of what you get there. Looking down is kind of the most you can get because the fucking troglodyte slouches. So you got that. Lots of cool detail on the body though, not the cleanest paint job. Definitely not the cleanest paint job. I don't know if you can see, but there's just like a lot of like kind of ghosting and soft edges with the white here. Now we do have some cool rotation here. And oh, okay, lots of fucking flexibility here on the diaphragm. That's awesome. That's awesome. But this fucking ab crunch. Yeah, I'll hit that with a hairdryer and like fucking get that fucking squared out. Now he can tilt from side to side pretty well, which is cool. The joint that he's on is there's a ball at the bottom and then there's this ball at the top. And so like, I don't know, maybe he'd be able to look up better if, nah, the sculpting gets in the way, so he won't be able to look up much more than this. Okay, so let's look at the arms. We got butterfly joints. He can't go back as far as Spider-Man or forward. The pecs really get in the way there because they hit the shoulder and the bicep, and so like that severely limits how. Yeah, so like this is about as much movement as you can get from the butterfly joint. So not amazing. Not amazing. Alright, we've got a bicep swivel, you know, shoulder, go up and down, all that kind of good shit. Double jointed elbows, and that again is what I'm fucking talking about. See, Storm Collectibles, you can have a beefy fucking bicep and still have no bullshit on your fucking double jointed elbows. It's amazing. It's beautiful. I love it. Thank you, Hasbro. Okay, so the wrist bends back very well. Forward, you gotta have to kind of pull it out in order to get it to work. He's got the big old grabby hand. And then let's look at the legs. So he can do the splits fairly well. Legs can go up about that high. Double jointed knees, absolutely beautiful. Thigh swivel, cool, cool, cool. Swivel just below the calf, that's interesting. Alright, ankle is all good. We got front and back and pivot. And then toes, peg holes. Okay. So, let me see like what I can do here. Okay, so that's not bad. That's not bad at all. You can, get him in a pretty cool pose like that. And so yeah, so for posing purposes, you'll be able to get what you need done for the most part from this figure. It's like all of the joints move super clean except for that lower ab crunch. The upper one, the diaphragm, though, that's amazing. This is how a diaphragm should work. Maybe if it could go forward a little bit more, but the way it goes back, absolutely incredible. And a quick tip for anyone out there, either photographing action figures or when you're drawing, if you're an artist in that way, arching the back. Arching the back is a shortcut to making any pose look a lot more dynamic. It's gonna look weird at first when you're drawing it because you're like, oh, this looks posed, this looks whatever. But once you get the whole drawing worked out, that's gonna pay out in dividends. Now let's take a look here at the tendril hand. Okay, that's really cool. I like that. I tried to do a sort of MVC2 kind of thing here, but this is cool. And what I really like too is that even though like the figure itself is like this upper torso is a really, really hard and really rigid plastic, and like even the tongue, the end is a little bit flexible, but even the tongue is a pretty hard plastic. They kept the tendril soft, so you could probably like wrap it around another figure and, for like photos and all that, stick another figure in there like they're being assimilated or some shit by the symbiote. So that's really cool. I really like that. And then here with, the fist hands, like that's a meaty fucking fist. So you can definitely punch some fools and make them regret ever messing with an alien motherfucker like this one. So that's the Gamerverse Venom. Pretty solid figure. I wouldn't say it's like a must buy unless you absolutely are just in love with this game and you have to have the Venom from this game as a figure and not, like the statue that came with the collector's edition. The posability is still great. I really don't like the plastic on the torso and how restricted both the head movement and the butterfly joints are, but you can still get some really good poses out of this figure. I am still gonna try to hit that ab crunch with the hair dryer, see if I can loosen that up a bit and get even more flexibility out of him. But even as it stands, I was able to make some cool poses, and there are some balancing issues there. He's toppled over quite a few times when I'm trying to get him posed and ready, but he has peg holes. He'll probably need his own peg like each foot because of how big he is, or if you have like a fucking board, like a little stand that big, that could work. Or you could just get one of the ones that clips around the waist that they sell with like a lot of anime figures. bam, and stand him up that way. He's definitely going to need some of that, which kind of happens with the bigger figures. I imagine that's also why they did this weird hollow plastic with the chest, but I mean, oh, and it's with the upper abs too that they did it looks like. And actually, yeah, the whole torso piece, just, you know, chest, abs, and groin is that weird hollow plastic. So it's probably to help with balancing and to, you know, cut down on the weight of the figure, which I imagine reduces manufacturing and shipping costs too, having this motherfucker be hollow and lighter. But yeah, but it's not a huge problem. It's really kind of a nitpick with the overall effect that you get from the figure at the end of it, because this would be a great Venom if you don't already have a Venom in your collection. I know it's been kind of a while since Marvel Legends had a Venom, so this might be for some people the only chance you really have at getting a Venom without having to pay, you know, like asshole scalper prices. So in that case, yeah, I would recommend it. If you do already have Venom figures and this one somehow has something that those figures don't, then yeah. But I wouldn't say, you know, rush out to get this one, just because it does have its minor shortcomings, and it's a great figure, don't get me wrong, but I wouldn't call it essential. The accessories are great, the figure is pretty awesome, but I don't know, just the head and the butterfly joints, I wouldn't say, you know, hunt this one down. So that's take that as you will. So thank you all for watching. Let me know what you think of this figure. Let me know if there's another Venom figure that you think blows this one out of the water. I'd love to check it out. Or if you have this figure, let me know in the comments what you think. Now, despite all the shit that I'm talking, I am really happy with this purchase. I don't already have a Venom figure in my collection. I have an Agent Venom, but not like a Venom. And so this fills the spot very well. And I don't think, unless I run into one at a decent price, I don't think I'm going to be hunting for a Venom anytime soon, unless there's like some absolutely insane one that someone mentions in the comments that I'm like, okay, yeah, I need to get that. So again, thank you for watching. I'll catch you guys next time, and you be excellent to each other.